Percentage problems are always challenging for many of us. Today, I will try to explain certain tips and tricks to solve the percentage questions in an easy way. Percent means per cent, which means for 100. Suppose I say 4%, this means 4 for 100. Imagine I'm dividing a circle into 100 parts. When I say 4%, I mean I am referring to only 4 parts of this circle. Suppose I have a big shape here consisting of 100 squares. Suppose I shade 20 squares. So this means 20% of this shape is shaded because we have 100 squares. So percentage means for 100. 7% means for 100 we are having 7. For 30 we are having how many? If that is a question mark above, opposite multiply and remaining division. That is how we find the answer. Question mark above is 7. Opposite multiply 30, remaining division. So the remaining thing is 100 here. We are going to divide it. So this will be the answer. We can simplify it. So we have 3% here, for example. That means for 100 we are having 3. Suppose I ask you for 70 how many? Question mark above, opposite multiply, remaining division. Question mark above is 3, opposite multiply. So we are multiplying 70 and the remaining we are dividing. The remaining is 100 here. So we can simplify it further to get the answer. So suppose I say 12% of 170. Percent means for 100. For 100 we are having 12%. For 170 how much? Again question mark above, opposite multiply and remaining divide. Question mark above is 12. Opposite multiply, we are multiplying 170 and the remaining we are dividing. The remaining is 100 there. So we can further simplify it to get the answer. So that will be 12% of 170. So this is how we analyze the percentage questions. Say for example, I ask you to find 60% of 40 gallons. We have percent here, 60%. That means for 100 it is 60. For 40 it is how much? Because we need to find for 40 gallons. So the same concept, question mark above, opposite multiply and remaining division. That's the answer there. So there is another technique. 60% of 40 means we can just multiply it by 60 by 100. So here we have a few examples. 50% of 34. 50% is always half, we know that. 50% is half. 50% meaning half. So 50% of 34 means half of 34. Half of 158. So whenever you see questions with 50%, the amount is half of the original amount. 100% means the full amount. 100% of 57 is nothing but 57. 1% of any number is the original number times 1 by 100. That means you put a decimal 2 points on the right side. From the right side, you move 2 points backward. So 50% means half, 25% means quarter, 1/4, 75% is 3/4, 100% is full, and 1% means from the right side you move backward 2 decimals. Find the percentage of the figure that is shaded. So we have 10 by 10, 100 squares here. Count how many squares are shaded. Of 100 total squares, 71 are shaded. So we want percentage, that means for 100. We are anyway doing it for 100. So 71% of the total figure is shaded. Because percentage anyway means 100, we are having 100 squares. So suppose I have 80 squares here. The total number of squares is 80. Of which 71 are shaded. So can you now tell me the percentage of the total figure that is shaded? So of 80 we are having 71 shaded. But I asked for the percentage, which means for 100 what is the value? Again question mark above, opposite multiply and remaining division. The trick is in writing this form of question mark. So 71 times 100 divided by 80. That will be the percentage of the figure that is shaded. That's around 88.75%. What percent of this shape is shaded? We have a total of 5 squares here. For 5, 3 of them are shaded. But we want percentage. That means for 100, we want to know how many are shaded. For 100, question mark. 3 times 100 divided by 5. So 60% of the whole shape is shaded. Suppose I ask you what percent of the shape is not shaded. Then we just have to subtract this number from 100 to get the percentage that is not shaded. We have a shape here that we will do in the classroom together to find what percentage is shaded. Let's learn how to convert fractions into percentages. So we have a question here, 7 over 10. 7 by 10. This is a fraction. So this means for 10 we have 7. We want as a percentage. That means for 100, how much? That comes to 7 times 100 divided by 10. That's 70. So 7 over 10 is 70%. Same way 9 over 10 is 90%. Whenever we have by 10, we just multiply it by 10 to get the percentage. So 3 over 10 is 30%. 2 over 10 is 20%. 5 over 10 is 50%. You can write it in the form of a question mark, or you can just multiply it by 10. So 5 over 6, here is a fraction. So multiply it by 100, or write it in the question mark form as you wish. So 27 over 33 times 100 is what we need to do to get the percentage. So this is how we convert a fraction into percentage. (39 over 52 times 100). Here is a question. The residents of a state were surveyed about an opinion. 12% said good. So good is 12%. 54% said bad. So bad is 54%. The rest said no opinion. How much is the rest? Out of 100%, (12) said good, 54 said bad, and we don't know how many the rest said no opinion. So 12 plus 54 plus something makes 100. So 12 plus 54 is 66. So this should be 34. 34% of the people must have said no opinion in the survey. So, but the total is 650 people. So of 650, 34% is 34 by 100. There should be 221 people. The question is about percentage, which is 34. There are 300 questions in the test. Rahul answered 230 correctly. So total questions is 300. 230 are the correct questions that he answered. What percentage did he answer correctly? 300 is the total questions for which 230 he answered correctly. Now we want percentage. That means for 100, how much? Question mark above, opposite multiply, remaining division. $230 times 100 divided by 300. So that will be the percentage of questions that he answered correctly. We can also get this question in the opposite way. Suppose he answered 77% of the questions. How many questions were actually given in the test? 77% means for 100. For 100, 77. But 230 is what he answered correctly. For 100, 77 is the correct. For 230, how many were the original questions? So it's the reverse way. But the process is same. Question mark above, opposite multiply and remain division.